Yeah, so it's 2025. You know what I mean? And does hip hop need anything in 2025? You know, this is our second show of the year. You know, what are some things that you're looking forward to this year? You know, maybe culturally, potentially album releases, anything in general? I mean, is there anything that you kind of looking forward to in general?
As far as album releases, I can't really say that I'm waiting on someone to come out with an album.
Yeah.
You know, we got Kendrick last year.
Hoping for another Kendrick. But
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, maybe we'll get a full project from Cole.
Yeah, that's definitely
Possibly.
in the works. Clips.
Clips
Clips have a project coming out, which is supposed to feature Kendrick on a song.
Yeah, so the Clips, I can look forward to that. That's something I can look forward to. I don't know. I mean, because now music just drops when it drops. It's not like back in the day when you'd open up this Source magazine and you'd see like your guy is about to drop in August. You know,
yeah.
Or like I remember like the second Lynch Mob album. It's like, you know, comes out on Halloween. Like they was trying to tie everything together. Now it's just like, oh yeah, the album comes out next week. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I don't really. There's nothing that I'm thinking of like I can think of like an artist. I'm just like, man, I'm just really ready for that to drop. I'm just not. I'm just here as a react person at this point. I'm just kind of like, you hit me with something, and then okay, cool, let's check that out.
I'm actually excited for the Clips album to drop. Yeah. Especially with it being the first album with Malice, pretty much not being No Malice anymore, going back to his original moniker. I'm interested to hear what he has to say. Like, we already know what Pusha T does. I mean, he's been doing it for years in and years out. But to hear them together again, I'm interested to see what that's going to sound like. I wonder if it's going to be all Pharrell production. I wonder if they're going to go a different direction, if it's just going to have some songs with his production on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see that or hear that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always interested in like certain artists if they drop, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't really know. I like the Mac Miller stuff that we're going to talk about later. The Balloonerism, that was a surprise, and I enjoyed that album. But I think more so than anything, the one thing I would say that I'm kind of looking forward to is I'm very curious how the YouTube hip hop space continues to grow, because it's been growing a lot in the last 6 months, 2 years, essentially since the Kendrick stuff started jumping off. You know, we started seeing a whole bunch of new creators populate, and I'm starting to see a lot more people that are like working with each other within that space and collaborating. And so I think that has the potential for us to kind of create a really cool unified grouping of hip hop creators, not so dissimilar to like when the blog era came out and there was a whole bunch of different blogs that was sharing music and talking about music, a whole bunch of different like voices in that manner. Maybe this is the renaissance of that sorts of this to maybe bring back some sort of curation, and because there's really kind of there's something lacking when it comes to like sharing music and talking, not necessarily talking about music, but like boosting music outside of the main stuff that everybody talks about.
Absolutely.
You know?
I think I agree with you on that. This is almost like the second coming of the blog era, like on steroids, so to speak. Is the music going to match the same energy that we had back then? Because during the blog era, I mean, music was coming out every single day. I mean, granted, it still does, but it's not the blog era was essentially almost like the second golden age of hip hop to me. So you got a lot of great stuff out of there. You got a lot of thriving artists that are top of the game, top of the food chain right now. I don't think the music comes out the same way. Well, it's not presented to us the same way, because we essentially as bloggers were the ones that were introducing it to everybody. Right now, people pretty much, it's almost like they eliminate the middleman and just do it on their own. But we're finding ways to incorporate it with what we do now. So I'm kind of excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm also like with that, like I'm curious to if there's going to be more with these new creators that are coming out, like if there's going to be new creative ways to share the music like the blog era kind of was, right? Because the one thing that we run into, and I talk about this all the time, it feels like, but like it's still kind of hard to share music on YouTube because you always get blocked. But I wonder if there's going to be, I hope that what I kind of look forward to is those of us to figure out ways to amplify music again. Outside of just talking about diss records or what's popular and stuff, to that kind of the stuff that we talked about last week a little bit. Like, you know, that's kind of what I'm hopefully looking forward to.
That's why it was kind of cool too during the blog era, because a lot of these artists didn't have record deals. So it didn't matter if you talked about the song. You could play it on your website or whatnot. And obviously those websites weren't monetized like that, but the traffic meant something. And that's where essentially you would get paid. It's more so off of what you're doing, and people come to you that might want you to publish something of that nature. But right now everybody has record deals. So it's a little different. Like we would have to do more digging or actually go back to the same thing that we're doing back then. And I don't have the energy for that.
Yeah, it would have to be. I think it's going to be in a different type of manner. But I think that's the one interesting thing I would say. Like out of everything related to the music and the hip hop culture and everything all considered, I think that's the one thing that I'm personally more interested in than anything. Obviously, if new music comes out and it's great, cool. But I'm curious to see what that new level of, or that new frontier of new journalism in a way, or new media in a way, continues to grow. So.
Right. Yeah, because we are the new old heads, so we don't have the time like we used to.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2025.